Hello everyone, so I am back with another tutorial for you guys, and that is on Barbie dolls with broken necks like this. So I will note this is not going to work for every single Barbie, especially, well, I mean, I don't want to say every single Barbie, but like every Barbie you encounter that's like this. Because fortunately enough for me, the pieces, I'll show you, the pieces to her neck are actually inside of her head. So if you find a doll that's like this at the thrift store, chances are she's not going to have her pieces in her head, because more than likely those will be lost. But there's actually another way you can do that. But let's say one of your dolls happens to break like this, and you can find the pieces. So I will show you how to do that. So basically when the neck breaks, specifically on like early 2000s, mid 2000s, 90s Barbies, particularly ones made in China. So let me see if I can get this in focus here. It's like you see in there, all the stuff is inside of her head. So you're going to want to get those pieces out. And some of them will actually just fall out. Actually, what happened to her is her neck cracked and then it broke, and I couldn't fix it right away, so I just stuck the pieces in there and I jammed her head down. And for those of you who are wondering, like some of you might be going, well, her neck is permanently stretched now. Well, that's actually not true. What you can do is boil some water, and you can dunk the lower part of her head to where this part's submerged in the boiling water, and it will reshape, it'll reform itself back to the original factory hole. So just basically, there's one piece of her neck. I will set that to the side. And usually what winds up happening is the big piece, which is the neck joint. Oh, there's that piece. So here is the other piece. And this, if you can see inside there, the neck joint, it actually has that little round thing, and this thing goes through that, and that's what keeps it in there. So that piece is out now. But basically, I forgot to mention, basically the only tools you're gonna need is super glue and a screwdriver, but the screwdriver is mainly just for yanking this thing out of her head. So you just, there. And if you want, you know, if her neck ever breaks again and you need to repair it, it would make it so much easier if you just cut the prongs off, just to get them out of the way. So I'll put her head to the side. Basically what you're going to want to do. Now if the neck pieces are actually missing, what you can do is just put this in there. Yeah, I'm sorry for all this yellow stuff that's all over my hands. I was playing with some magic markers earlier. But yeah, if the neck pieces are actually missing, then what you can do is actually glue this piece in there, but you'll have to use gel glue instead of the runny stuff. It would have actually been better if I had used gel glue for this. So with the way her neck broke, and this has happened with a lot of them, like this little piece goes right there, and it's just like the circular piece area just breaks off. It just chips away. So I'm gonna try to see how that went in there. So I will actually do a jump cut when come back when I have it in there. Okay, so I had to arrange it to figure out which way it broke. So what I'm going to attempt to do, and hopefully this goes well, I'm basically going to put super glue around this area and then push it in there. Of course, super glue is going to get on my fingers, but how you do that, how you keep it from making your fingers stick together, is you just do this until the glue dries. I've gotten super glue on my hands many, many times. So, and if I go off camera, I apologize, but I can't be staring at the phone screen while I do this. So I'm going to ever so slightly just push it. Back into place. And a lot of times it is not going to turn out perfect. So there's that piece in. And I did get super glue on my hands, as you can see, but that will eventually chip away. And I got fingerprints right there, but you can get sandpaper or a fingernail file and sand that down and shine it up. So it's no biggie. And so for the last one, you're simply just gonna, oops, drop the piece. Yeah, you want to be in a clean area when you do this, because pieces could go flying, and these little neck pieces can get lost very easily. Yes, and it keeps bouncing all over the place. But yeah, basically what you're going to do, there we go, is you're going to put glue on the outside and glue it back together. And just smack that in there. But the outside pieces, see the knob piece that goes in there is the most difficult to get in place. So you just put super glue on this outside part. There we go. Since the super glue is in there, now it wants to stay instead of going flying. But as you can see, it doesn't look perfect. It's not going to look exactly like it did before it broke. But her neck will be back together again. And just as a safety precaution, you can put some super glue. You can move this out of the way. Put some super glue down in there for extra coverage, is what I usually like to do. Sometimes I like to put it all over the outside. You can still see the noticeable crack. Sometimes, if you're really good at it, which I have been a few times, you can actually get it back to where like there's no gap in there, like you can see. But the way her pieces broke, it was just not meant to be. So, that is what it should look like in the end. So yeah, and I will come back when it is dry and I have her reattached to her body. So here she is after I fixed her neck. Funny thing is, her head has not been jammed down on her neck for that long. I actually thought she was, but I've had so many dolls that this has happened to, I kind of forgot. So her head kind of reformed on its own without the help of the boiling water. But as you can see, and I'm being quite rough on it, it is on. The knob is back in there and the pieces have been successfully glued on, and she can pivot and do all that. So while it doesn't look the most professional, it doesn't look exactly how it used to look. Her pieces are back together and she's not jammed down onto her neck like that. So anyhow, I hope this little tutorial helped, and there's actually another tutorial about how to fix broken or chipped doll necks. 1,000 Splendid Dolls. Shelly wound up doing a tutorial over that. So you can go check out 1,000 Splendid Dolls, and she should have that in her tutorials playlist. So anyhow, thank you guys for watching, and more videos to come, and remember to stay true to you.